We open in the middle of a fight against King Cold. Cold can barely stand up, but Goku isn't going to let him go. But a blast comes his way and kills him anyways. Goku yells at whoever shot that, turning around to look at Jacko and Raditz. Raditz took the chance to kill King Cold, wearing a Galactic Patrol uniform. Jacko reprimands him for killing another one without trial, but Raditz says his finger slipped. Goku rolls his eyes as he thinks about the past few months. Goku had recovered from the fight against Frieza. The Galactic Patrol healed him and he remained in custody for a while. During it, Miras asks Goku to return one day as he wants to train with him. Raditz has remained on Yardrat. We see him riding on the giant worms Goku brought, gathering supplies. Vegeta and Nappa stuck around as well. Goku thinks they were changing. Nappa even likes gardening. Soba doesn't really like them, but he knows he can keep them in check. They are currently rebuilding Yardrat. For now, Soba is declared the Grand Elder. The Yardrats had finally accepted Soba, as the various clan members showed support. Vegeta leaves to find a way to get stronger and get Super Saiyan, while Goku continues to liberate planets alongside the Galactic Patrol. But what really surprised Goku was Raditz's announcement that he wanted to go with them and become a Galactic Patroller. There, Goku finally got to check out the time chamber with Raditz and Miras. Miras simply watched their training. Seeing him in action, now he understood how he could defeat Frieza. In a few months, Raditz was a full-fledged Galactic Patroller. Now in the present, Goku and Raditz clash heads, but Jacko and Miras break it up. It's not like King Cold was going to get anything but the death penalty anyways. Goku disagrees completely with the idea, as Miras asks if he's ready for their next planet. Goku looks at the time and tells everyone that he's sorry, but he has something to attend, leaving Raditz tired of him. Goku meets with Nail. Pibara and Guru have both passed away. Goku was sad that he didn't get to say goodbye to them, but Nail reassures him that Guru loved him very much. Nail asks him if that's what he wants the Dragon Balls for, to revive them? No. We in Yardrat were taught that life and death are part of the same stream. Pibara has never left me. In fact, he only makes me stronger every day. I know he wouldn't want that. It's not in our culture to grieve for death, but to celebrate the passage into another realm. Nail smiled at him, seeing why Guru cared so much for him. The new Grand Elder Murray walks out and asks if they're ready for their match. Remember, we're weaving away the Dragon Ball challenges just for you, but only if you beat me will you get them. Heh, I wouldn't have it any other way, with Nail actually pushing Goku into Super Saiyan. But that's ultimately what defeats the Namekian. He tells Goku that he will continue to train harder and harder, so he can challenge him again one day. Goku uses Purunga to bring planet Yardrat back to its original state prior to the fights against Frieza, but he leaves the other two wishes for Nail, disappearing and leaving Nail all annoyed. He teleports back to planet Yardrat in order to celebrate. He has a happy reunion with Soba and the others, as a big celebration is thrown on planet Yardrat, with Goku inviting many friends, including Nail, Dende, Pui, Raditz, Nappa, Vegeta, Gurei, and Tarble. Tarble is hesitant to approach his brother, which Goku finds surprising. Tarble also thanks him for his work against Frieza, but Vegeta tells him to train more. As the celebrations continue, two mysterious figures appear from the crowd. Goku doesn't question it, he has a lot of friends around the universe, but these two seem off. They introduce themselves as Kaioshin and Kibito, and they begin to explain. An evil wizard named Babidi is collecting warriors from across the universe and seeking to release Majin Buu. Goku doesn't need much convincing in order to agree. However, it turns out Vegeta was listening. As the celebrations wind down, Goku bids farewell to his friends. Pui makes him promise to come to planet Zune for a rematch one day. Tarble asks Vegeta where he's going to, and Vegeta simply replies, to find a way to go beyond. With Goku saying goodbye to Soba, Yaki, and Hatsuka as he goes to train in the Kaioshin realm. Goku begins his training, but he can't pick up the Sea Sword quite yet. Goku promises he can do it in just a few more days, but Kibito says that they don't have days, they only have maybe hours. But that's all Goku really needs. Without another word, Goku teleports over to the Galactic Patrol HQ and asks Miras to train him in the chamber. Miras says that he thought he wasn't ready just yet, but Goku explains just what's going to happen in the galaxy. Raditz also joins in the training, just for a few hours. They come out, and Raditz has achieved Super Saiyan, and Goku Super Saiyan 2. In fact, he even learned a little bit more. There was a strange power that Miras had, a way for his body to move without him even thinking, and Goku wanted that for himself. Goku returns to the Kaioshin realm, and he finally lifts up the Z-Sword with ease. Kibito can't believe it. Meanwhile, we switch over to planet Zune. There, many of the inhabitants have been killed. Babidi asks one more question to the fallen Pui. Will he join his ranks? Pui spits at the ground. He tells them that they have no honor, no respect for life. Pui holds himself up using the Ajisa tree Goku planted as support. Babidi calls him a fool and says that he can die like the rest of his people, telling Dabura to kill him. But Pui has a few final words. Even if you take my life, it doesn't matter. I know someone out there who will stop you. You don't stand a chance against Shir. Pui was shot and killed. They yell at their last ally to come along with them. The war warrior stares at Pui Pui's dead body on the tree. The camera pans up to reveal Majin Vegeta. The training at the Kaioshin realm continues as Goku swings the sea sword. He isn't used to fighting with weapons, but this is making him quite powerful. Shin and Shira often argue about the Kai versus the instant transmission, as they have slowly become good friends. But there is friction, as Shin wants Shira to ultimately kill Babidi, something which Goku heavily disagrees. Until finally, one day, Babidi strikes Earth. This is much sooner than Shin had anticipated. Goku senses the key of Earth as he realizes that there's actually a lot of strong guys there. Not crazy strong, but strong. A lot of them felt similar to Nail. Shin yells at Goku that they need to head to Earth now, but Goku says that there is too many of them. They're gonna need some help. Shin cocks an eyebrow but joins him. Goku teleports many places, getting Soba, Raditz, and Nail. He also asks Miras to join, but once again he says that he cannot battle and apologizes. He asks Nappa, but Nappa doesn't really care about other planets and refuses to help. He was taking care of the Cybermen colonies. And finally, he just couldn't find Vegeta. Nail said that after their last battle, he got his potential unlocked by the new Grand Elder and continued training. So think of him as Piccolo level after fusing with Kami, maybe even a little further beyond. Goku teleports to planet Zune looking for Pui Pui. He finds a desolate area with little life, except for a few Sunjin. They are afraid of Goku at first, recognizing the Saiyan, but soon realize that he is not the one that attacked them. They explain that Babidi and his men found Zune and tried to recruit their people. When they refused, many died. What about Pui Pui? He fought back, right? He drove them off. They stay quiet and move out of the way to reveal his body. Goku holds Pui Pui's hand as a tear falls from his face. Electricity sparks up. Nail realizes that he's out of his league still. They all are. Goku holds onto the sea sword as he buries Pui Pui under the Ajiza tree. They teleport to Earth. Once they arrive, they realize just how much chaos there is. Not only did he now realize he sensed mutated Namekians birthed by King Piccolo, but also failed to sense a whole nother set of fighters, androids. Now, a small army of mutated Namekians and androids with M's on their forehead fly around, terrorizing Earth. Raditz and Nail blow them away as Goku tells them to stop, that they can do this without killing anyone else. Clearly, this planet has suffered enough already, but more demons and androids rush their way, determined to collect their Kili. Tambourine came flying behind Raditz, only to be stopped by Akiko Ho. They all turn around to see Krillin. Krillin tells them to come with him, introducing himself along the way. They start to move until he realizes that a Namekian's with them, attacking Nail. Nail slaps the blast away. Krillin is terrified. Goku can sense it, asking what the hell is going on. What do you mean? That's Piccolo, run away! Suddenly, more androids and Namekians attack, to which Nail blasts him away, keeping them at bay. Krillin doesn't know what's going on, but thinks he'll have to just get advice from his master. They listen. Maybe they can find out where Babidi is. Krillin is happily surprised to find that they were strong. The hideout is at Capsule Corp. Earth had been driven into turmoil without Goku. Though Grandpa Gohan had gone with Bulma to find the Dragon Balls and stopped Pilaf from getting his wish, King Piccolo was still freed by him. The Red Ribbon Army continued to look for the Dragon Balls after Red, in fact, did get his wish to get taller, only to get killed by Black. As the new leader, Black fast-tracked the creation of more androids. That's when King Piccolo began his attack. Realizing that he couldn't rule if Piccolo got in his way, the army used the androids to fight the demons. These androids are fairly primitive, unlike the ones from Z, as they don't have any records of Saiyans. With that being said, they're still strong thanks to Namekian DNA. The Namekians likewise have evolved and gotten stronger over time. King Piccolo successfully obtained the Dragon Balls, wished for youth, and killed Shenron. Now Kami watched from the lookout in horror as a few brave warriors stood up to the enemies. Amongst them are Master Roshi, Grandpa Gohan, Krillin, Tien, and Chaozu. However, Master Roshi passed away trying to seal away Piccolo. Seeing the death of his rival and the sure destruction of Earth, Master Shen took it upon himself to train Roshi's old students. Little progress was made, and Earth is now in ruins. They make it inside, where a battle-hardened Bulma and the others rest. They are on the edge about Nail, but Master Gohan steps out of the shadows and tells them to sense his energy. He is not evil, not like the others. It is revealed that the enemies used to be much weaker until a ship landed. Suddenly, M's formed on their foreheads, and the destruction was amplified. The heavy steps of an android are heard, as in comes Android 16. Raditz gets on guard, realizing he wears the insignia of those that attacked him, but Bulma stands up, leaning on him. She explains that she had actually reprogrammed 16 and gave him free will. They had found Jiro's old lab deactivated because he refused to join and fight alongside the Majins. 16 is fully mechanical, so his mind wasn't corrupted.
If you are going after this, Babidi, then I wish to come. There were 2 other androids with me, 17 and 18, who were taken and brainwashed. They are my friends.
Tien speaks up. One android was enough. They don't need any more. Bulma argues back, saying that 16 said that they weren't bad people, just tools for Jiro. Jiro resorted to kidnapping those disenfranchised by the war and turned them into androids. Without Saiyans around, these androids are weaker, but still far stronger than the others. Shin requests to be taken to the ship. They need to stop Babidi. Goku promised that they will liberate this world, but that no one has to die. This confuses everyone. If we defeat Babidi, then they will be freed from their mind control. What about after? This war has been raging far before Babidi. Neither band will just peacefully resign. If you want to help us, you have to get rid of them both. All life is precious, even those demons and androids out there. I'll find a way. Tien gets all up in Goku's face, but Soba stands up, asking them to give Goku a chance. Goku interjects, saying to give him 2 hours. If he hasn't freed them and stopped them within that time, they all stay quiet. The pain within Goku obvious. They will fight, but they won't kill for now. Goku cheerfully smiles as he looks at Krillin and asks for directions. Goku says that there's just too many enemies to make it through, that they're gonna need some to stay behind alongside the rebels and fight the androids and demons. Nail volunteers. He doesn't want Earth to perceive Namekians as evil because of the actions of this monster. Raditz agrees. Bulma wipes war paint on her face. It's time to move. They step out of Capsule Corp and into a mass destruction as instantly androids and demons try to take their killie. Nail pulls his arm back alongside Yamcha and Tien. They all fire one massive blast to clear the way. Goku rushes ahead with the path cleared. Soba, Krillin, Shin, and Kibito ride by his side. They finally make it to the destroyed world tournament, where they watch as androids and demons come and go, giving energy to Babidi. Right by his side stands Dabura, the true Demon King.
To think that Namekian pretended to hold my title. He'd better hope he gets his share of killie soon, or I'll show him what a true Demon King is.
Goku quickly stands up, not listening to anyone telling him to stop. He calls out Babidi's name, saying that he won't let him revive Majin Buu. Demons swarm them as Goku rushes forward and attacks Dabura. Dabura spits at Goku, but Kibito teleports before him, being turned into stone. Goku curses, but doesn't slow down, slapping Dabura into a rock formation. Babidi makes it back to his spaceship, as Soba yells at them to all get inside. He will take care of the Demon King. The first floor is Yakon, which Goku begins to fight as a Super Saiyan. Yakon begins absorbing Goku's killie, while Goku uses Spirit Fission to get it back. The battle becomes a stalemate of power absorption, but Goku's Force Spirit Fission was far more effective, to the point where Yakon's stamina depletes and he gets knocked out. Android 16 was surprised at the enemies from the next floor, Dr. Jiro, 17, and 18. Jiro was surprised to see 16. He had put him away for a reason. It was clear that Jiro had pain behind those eyes. Why was that? But 18 laughed, lunging at Raditz, pushing him into a wall while Goku tried to restrain 17. Raditz thought 18 was pretty cute. He didn't want to strike such a pretty lady, but Jiro responded by slamming him against Goku and forcing him to let go of 17. 16 appeared before them and kicked them into a wall, as Goku dropping the Z-Sword and transforming into a Super Saiyan 2, with 16 telling her that their fate is sealed if they don't turn back now. They can still change things. A spark of hope shone in her eyes, but Babidi's magic was too strong, her eyes flashing red again, just as 16 let his guard down and blasting him in the chest. Android bits flew everywhere as 16 laid against the wall, but still survived. 18 was going to take this chance to kill him right then and there, as Raditz kicked 17 into Goku, who caught him and grabbed him into the face, slamming him to the ground and knocking him out. But something unexpected happened. With a pained scream, Jiro jumped in front of the blast. The android master was killed instantly as he yelled out for his son. Goku felt his heart sink, appearing before 18 while she was in shock, bursting forward and knocking her out. 16 stood up with sadness in his eyes. He apologized for not being able to save him.
I am not his son, but a mere recreation of him. He did not have to save me. 18 and 17 have their souls too. I promise you that.
I believe you, but for now, they need to be elsewhere, somewhere safe, until we defeat Babidi. Raditz told Goku that he'd do it. He teleported the twins over to planet Yardrat, where Yaki and Hatsuka promised to take care of them. Meanwhile, Soba battled Dabura. The Yardrat master had trained since the last battles against Frieza in order to not be eclipsed by his student, as the demon was more frustrated than anything. Soba had been teleporting all over the place, shrinking and more. Ever since Ginyu took his body, he had started to once again use those Yardrat moves, and he had forgotten how much fun it could be. The demon cursed as he sped at Soba. This is just what he was waiting for. In a matter of milliseconds, Soba ducked from the spit, grabbed Zabora, and teleported him in front of it. The Demon King defeated by his own technique. He looked over at the statue of Kibito, which hadn't changed, making sure that Shira wasn't there, and flicked the Dabura statue, shattering it into pieces and saving Kibito.
May you find a better path in the next life.
Meanwhile, the crew was off to the last room. The room changed into a sight which only Raditz recognized. The ruins of planet Vegeta. Out of the shadows steps Majin Vegeta. Raditz can't believe his eyes. What had the prince done? Vegeta explains that after he saw the Super Saiyan, he left, seeking more power for himself. But even after he found it, he watched Kakarot get stronger and stronger. Goku and Raditz fall to their knees. Babidi was attempting to take them over. Shin yells at them to fight it back, while 16 and Krillin burst forward to attack Vegeta. Raditz sees visions of his old life, of planets he conquered. While Kakarot saw something strange, he heard the roars of an Ozaru, a smile on his own face the moment he killed Frieza, a moment that haunted him. His parents placing him on a pod, but flickering into a Saiyan scientist saying he'd be sent to conquer. Vegeta, while toying with 16 and Krillin, yelled at Babidi to stop it. He wants this fight to be his alone. Raditz, surprisingly, was the first to break free from the spell. The allure of the old life and power was there, but his new life was what he wanted. His brother, however, continued to struggle, darkness seeping in. It was just like the first time he went to Namek. The vision of Planet Vegeta undid itself as two figures burst down from the top, Kibito and Soba. Vegeta rolled his eyes as he kicked 16 out of the way. Soba realized something was going on with Shira.
Shira, son, if you give in, not only will you be a slave, but you'll be forced to kill at his command. You'll leave children without fathers, just as Frieza did to you.
That was what did it. An explosion of energy was expelled from him. Darkness that had nearly taken him over. Goku panted, completely tired. He thanked Soba. Goku tells the rest to go after Majin Buu while he takes care of Vegeta. Shin was surprised. He had never seen Shira like this, but he listened. As Raditz was about to be blasted away, Goku appeared before the attack, slapping it away. Vegeta's face was marked by a smirk. Finally, Soba asked Shira if he was okay, and he simply nodded. Meanwhile, Nail faces off against an army of demons. These androids lessened, and the demons began to retreat. Have they won the battle? Bulma shook her head, pointing to something on the horizon. It was a floating ship. Inside, King Piccolo sat on his throne. He told Piano and the Majinized Pilaf gang that he believed somehow Kami had wished for youth, but he was now stronger than before. The Majin power had not only increased his strength, but the constant fighting against the androids and training against the demons had put him above anyone on Earth. It was time to end things. King Piccolo walked to the edge of the ship, dropping down a tiny keyboard that blew away a large portion of the battleground. Nail opened his aura to shield and protect the others, as Bulma yelled out for everyone to retreat. Nail smirked. No, it was time to finish this. King Piccolo jumps down, welcoming quote-unquote Kami to his realm. Nail laughed. He was no god. The king was confused. You mean you don't know? We're Namekians, a race of peaceful beings. I will clear our name from this world and stop you. King Piccolo refused to believe it, and he rushed towards Nail. The pure Namekian dodged with ease. King Piccolo was strong, but Nail had been training too much to be bothered. He continued to toy with the Demon King until he tried to fire a blast at the humans in an attempt to catch his foe off guard. Tien thought this could be the end of them, but Nail jumped in the way, his arms outstretched in the process, destroying one of them. The king laughed loudly, only for Nail to smirk and burst out a new arm. Nail then extended said arm to grab the Demon King and threw him up to the sky. Nail appeared above, telling the king that he'd take him back to Namek and show him a lesson. Nail hammer-fisted the king down below, but he was still going to fight, firing one last blast at Nail. The humans knew this was their chance to finally defeat the demons. Grandpa Gohan, commanding the rest of the heroes, all fired their own attacks. King Piccolo was consumed by the final blast, laying on the floor with no power left. Nail stepped up to him, saying that he'd be taken to Namek and judged by the elders. Piccolo began to freak out. He is the greatest Demon King. His ki began to increase as from his mouth, he spat out one final egg into the forest. Piccolo was going to take them all down with him. Nail yelled at everyone to get away as King Piccolo exploded. The humans were hurt severely, but survived. Even so, demons and androids remained. They drove them away for now, but they would come back. Bulma ordered Tien and Yamcha to find the egg. Nail asked what they were going to do with it, to which Bulma said that she'd have to dispose of it, in case it came for revenge. Nail commanded her to stop, that he'd take care of it. From now on, the egg, as well as every mutated Namekian, were to be taken care of by the people of his home planet. They will not cause any trouble there. Bulma was hesitant, but after seeing Nail's power, there was little she could do. Nail found the egg and placed it somewhere safe for now. The battlefield was a blaze of intense energy. Majin Vegeta and Super Saiyan 2 Goku stood opposite of each other, eyes locked, tension palpable. Goku grew into his giant form, throwing a colossal punch to Vegeta, but the Saiyan Prince was swift, rocketing upwards and blasting Goku in the face. Goku staggered, and Vegeta surged forward, energy surrounding his hand, aiming for a finishing blow. Just then, Goku shrunk back to normal size. Using Force Spirit Vision, he sapped away some of the dark energy that Babidi had bestowed upon Vegeta, weakening him momentarily. You went to Planet Zoon, didn't you? You found that fool Pui Pui. He had high hopes that you'd stop Babidi. He knew Babidi was responsible for this, but he didn't think Vegeta was involved. His aura intensified, each blow fueled by anger and grief. But the memory of Pui Pui flashed in his mind. This anger, this thirst for vengeance, this wasn't his true essence. This was the part which Babidi was trying to exploit. He was allowing himself to be caught up in the storm of emotions, just like Vegeta had. The fighting paused for a moment as Vegeta struggled to catch his breath. Vegeta, look at us. We're destroying each other. What's your point, Kakarot? You went from serving Frieza, a tyrant who treated you like a pawn, to becoming a puppet for Babidi. And now, I almost let my anger dictate my actions. We can be better than this. You fought hard alongside me to take down Frieza, only to turn around and serve another? Vegeta's defenses wavered as he processed Goku's words. He was right, but he was too far gone. With tears forming in his eyes, Vegeta yelled, "Enough!" The two Saiyans separated, taking stances on opposite ends. They charged their energy for one final beam struggle, a final flash versus the Ozaru Breaker. The two beams collided, creating a spectacle of light and power. The earth trembled, but Vegeta's heart wasn't in it. The weight of the realization combined with Goku's edge and power meant that he was gradually pushed back. Suddenly, Vegeta's beam began to diminish, but instead of fighting back, Vegeta closed his eyes and allowed the energy to engulf him. The dust settled as Goku closed in on Vegeta. The two were nearly killed in that battle, but they continued to feel Majin Buu's ki growing. He'd be out in no time. Why should I listen to you? Because together we can push each other to new heights instead of being used by another. Let's train together. We'll surpass each other without the need to serve anyone else. It'll be your own power that puts you above me, not his. He outstretched his arm, standing up alongside his Saiyan brethren. But first, they'll have to stop Majin Buu. Shira healed Vegeta, standing together. The ground beneath their feet began to shake. Nail and the humans hurried to the battle site. Majin Buu had been reborn. The egg was teleported from the inside of the ship to the desert near Goku and Vegeta, as Shin, Kibito, Raditz, Krillin, 16 and Soba fire blasted the egg to stop it. But it was too late. Goku picked up the sea sword and nodded at Vegeta, rushing at the monster. Majin Buu was sillier than expected and didn't listen to Babidi, but he was wreaking havoc nonetheless. During the commotion, Soba sensed something while close to Buu. There was a power within him that did not belong to him. As despair threatened to set in, two blinding auras appeared. Super Saiyan 2 Goku and Majin Vegeta. Krillin cheered for them as they struck Buu in perfect sync, kicking him together and blasting him again. But the blob continued to regenerate. Goku tried to slice and dice him with the sea sword, but it nearly got stuck inside of Buu. It was clear that the legendary sword was not the answer. That's when Soba screamed out that there was something within the monster. If they can take it out, maybe they can weaken him. Goku agreed. The two Saiyans launched a synchronized assault. Suddenly, from the skies and the ground alike, more warriors arrived. Nail instructed them to all fire blast at Buu, surprising Babidi and causing him to be blasted into the wall. From the distance, a mech piloted by Bulma shot out energy beams and missiles while the others did what they could, even with their lower power level. Raditz tried to help his brother out, caught in a tug of war against Buu, slowly losing as his bones gave in. But he had to help him. He had to ensure that no one else was enslaved like he was. In that moment, Raditz's eyes sparkled green once more. With whatever little energy he had left, he had managed to muster up a Super Saiyan form. The sudden burst gave Goku an opening. Rushing behind Buu, Buu's head twisted, his terrifying smile turning to look at Goku as he shot out a candy beam. Goku couldn't stop himself. At the last second, Soba pointed his arm outwards, a clone of himself jumping out into the line of fire, being turned into candy. Goku jumped over the clone, grabbing Buu's head tentacle, and from it, spirit fishing out something incredible. Two more figures were on the ground now. Goku had pulled out the Grand Kaioshin and the Southern Kaioshin. Shin couldn't believe his eyes as he kneeled by his old friends attempting to heal them. His head spun to look at the smoke dissipating. Buu transformed into Kid Buu. Vegeta actually laughed at the kid as Babidi called him a traitor and told him to attack Goku and the others. Vegeta burst forward instead, attacking Kid Buu alongside Raditz and Goku, but the Majins' defenses seemed impenetrable. Babidi, realizing Vegeta had betrayed him, began to call on his demons and androids to return. With Kid Buu in the middle, the arena became a burst of chaos. The humans struggled to defend themselves. Even Nail, 16 and the others helped out. Raditz was the most hurt and saw the army swarming the battlefield. He knew he had to get someone to help. Jacko, do you read me? SOS on Earth. Army of demons, androids, Majin Buu. He wasn't sure if the message was received. He could only hope. For Goku, it seemed hopeless. The South Kaioshin and the Grand Kaioshin regained consciousness, with Shin hugging the Grand Kai tightly. He asked what was going on, only to look at Buu in those eyes. He couldn't believe he was still around. Shin told him that there was little he could do, as the South Kai burst out to support the humans. Yamcha was killed in battle, and Bulma left with severe injuries after her mech exploded. They needed to do something. Shin told the Grand Kai that they needed to kill him, only to hear Goku shout at him again. No killing. But if we don't do something, these demons will continue to kill everyone. They're too strong thanks to him. Find another way. Goku returned to the fight with the Grand Kai's eyes fixated on him. This man was something else. He could sense purity in him, and innocence much like his own, but also darkness. The Grand Kai told him to leave this to him. More and more continued to fall, as Soba took a direct hit, leaving the master incapacitated. Even Majin Vegeta proved nothing against Buu's regeneration. He instead directed his ferocity to Goku. The Pink Terror launched a barrage of attacks, each one more wild than the next. But something was different in Goku. Each attack, no matter how unpredictable, missed him by a hair. Goku's body seemed to move on its own, evading with a fluidity and grace that was eerily similar to Mira's. He was remembering just what he taught him, though it was far from perfect. Kid Buu was frustrated by this. Goku, however, deep in concentration, began to see through Buu's chaotic nature. To Goku, Buu felt like the embodiment of raw ki, wild and untamed, a force of nature. A memory flashed through Goku's mind, Soba's words about wielding ki as a weapon. If Kid Buu was the very essence of ki, then perhaps Goku could use the spirit fission technique to his advantage. Goku began to evade blows and strike Buu, each blow sapping out tiny bits of Genki from the monster, but it wasn't much. He would need help from everyone else. Meanwhile, the Grand Kai blasted at Babidi. The wizard responded with his own attack, surprised to see the Kai of old, but this was just what the Grand Kai wanted. He only ever had to use this technique against one other, as he screamed out, "Kai Kai Matoru!" Babidi's eyes widened as lightning struck the wizard and began to take away all of his magic. The Grand Kai remembered how his godly power was nearly completely consumed last time he used this, but thankfully Babidi was a much weaker wizard than Moro was. Shin, consider this my resignation. Babidi and the Grand Kai were both engulfed by light, falling to their knees. Babidi's magic was completely gone, with the Grand Kai being left with only half of his power. Dark M's faded from everyone who was possessed, including Vegeta, allowing Nail and the rest to drive them off of the battlefield. Just then, Goku asked for everyone to give him some energy. Soba was the first one to lend his power, a ball of spirit fission forming above Goku. Buu tried to get to him, but Goku continued to evade. More power came in, but he knew it wouldn't be enough. As he struggled against Buu, Nail barely managed to say something to Goku. Namek, get help from Namek! Goku realized what he meant, quickly teleporting away with all the spirit vision power. Some were left confused, but Goku appeared above the Grand Elder's place. Murray walked out with Dende. They knew what was going on Earth and gave power with no questions. He then teleported to Yardrat, asking help from his people. He teleported to planet Tek Tek, getting energy from Tarbal and his friends. Then to a planet full of hedgehog people. Then planet Zune, energy collected on top of the Saiyan as one last bit of energy from the Ajiza tree, which served as Pui Pui's grave, entered the energy ball. Would this be enough to defeat Majin Buu? Goku struggled as he teleported back. Just as Pibara is alive in everything he does, Ki is always alive. Buu will return. He just had to hope he'd return as a good guy. Goku landed on Earth again, the energy floating overhead as he watched Vegeta and Soba being the last ones standing against Buu. If I can't do this, Kid Buu struck Vegeta in the stomach, sending him against the Grand Kai, who caught him. If I can't do this! Soba called out Shira's name as he was slammed to the ground by Buu's extended arms. Then who will? Kid Buu turned his full attention on Goku as all the energy from the spirit vision began to surround him, absorbing it into his very being. He had never felt so much energy before, so much warmth, life itself. Kid Buu burst forward, fist pulled back and full of energy. Goku felt tears drop from his cheek. The hopes of the universe were with him. He recalled his first adventure outside of Yardrat, seeing Piranha for the first time. He had to save the universe, which had been so kind to him. Dragon Fist! His aura transforming into an apparition, a golden Namekian wish dragon opening his mouth and overwhelming Kid Buu, twisting around to stare down at the world as Kid Buu was disintegrated within, turning into pure energy. Goku took a deep breath. I hope to see you again and fight you as a good guy. The dragon burst into light, energy draining down on the planet and spreading back to the world it belonged to. As plants and trees were rejuvenated, Goku stood tall, fist in the air, before passing out. Raditz ran to his brother, hugging him and celebrating. While everyone cheered, they lamented the lives lost, but they would have to move forward. Slowly, Goku opened his eyes as the Grand Kaioshin healed his wounds. Rest for now, young warrior. You have done well. As Bulma sat on top of her destroyed mech, she caught Vegeta glancing at her, to which they both blushed. When all of a sudden they heard the sounds of wings and blasts coming their way. The fighters stood back up. They couldn't do this, it was too soon. But the androids and the demons were taking their chance to attack. But from above, a shadow eclipsed the sun. Several ships burst down from a mothership, and Raditz's wrist communicator rang. Yeah, called for backup? Better late than never. Soon enough, the Galactic Patrol had apprehended nearly every android and demon, though they gave permission for Nail to take the demons and the egg back to planet Namek. A patroller, Raditz, would be assigned to watch over them. Goku could finally rest, as Soba placed a hand on his head, proud of his student. But from the crowd, Goku spotted someone else. Bulma freaked out. Was that Piccolo? Goku, Soba, and Nail quietly approached the figure. The clothing. I know you. You must be. I am Kami, the god of Earth. I should be dead. Piccolo has been defeated. Nail looked at the egg. But it seems I remain still. Despite having failed this planet, that Earth must now be my counterpart. So you split yourself. I have only heard rumors of Namekians doing this. Split yourself? To become god, I had to spell away my evil. He became Piccolo, and soon doomed the world. I hoped the Dragon Balls would be enough, but Goku stayed quiet. Spelling out evil, was that possible? He shook his head. Dragon Balls? You had Dragon Balls? That was until Piccolo killed the dragon. Well, now it's your chance to make things right. What? Repair the Dragon Balls. Give people hope. That's why they're represented to me. It was because of the Dragon Balls that I was able to find my way back home once, long ago. They saved me. I know they can save everyone else too. With them, you can restore the world to its previous beauty. Kami looked at the ground. He had failed this planet, but perhaps he could make it right. He wouldn't do it for a few years though. He wanted his own blood, sweat, and tears to help rebuild Earth. Kami thanked them for their help and told them that they're welcome to Earth anytime. He disappeared and began to meditate, thinking over the restoration of the Dragon Balls. Slowly, everyone returned to their worlds, except for Goku, who stayed for a nice meal alongside Vegeta and Raditz. Goku told 16 where he left 17 and 18, and that they were welcome to stay there. After all, maybe Earth wasn't for the androids. 16 agreed. At least for a few years, that would be for the best. Night came, and Bulma got ready to set off on a new mech alongside Shen, Tien, Krillin, and Grandpa Gohan. So what's next? Where to? We lost so many warriors over the years. Good friends. The Ox King, Chi-Chi, Master Roshi, Yamcha. You were right when you told Kami to restore them. We're gonna wait until the Dragon Radar picks up a signal, and we'll find them, and we'll try to bring them back and restore the planet. Goku disagreed with the notion that death needed to be undone, but he understood. He could use some advice from his old master Bibara. He wished Krillin and the others luck, teleporting back to planet Yardrat, along with 16, Raditz, and Vegeta. The following day, on a familiar purple planet, Goku and Vegeta stared each other down in front of the Cybermen grounds. Raditz sat atop of a space worm, watching with a smile, while Nappa gardened with a few Cybermen by his side. Ready, Vegeta? Come at me, Kakarot! Shira has far surpassed me. Soba smiled proudly as the explosive battle rang out. Recalling the war on Earth and the guardian known as Kami, Soba looked up to the sky with a question in mind.
Master, if you can hear me, perhaps Shira will achieve the legend you told me about long ago. The Super Saiyan God.
And that's also it for today's video. Don't forget to leave a like and tell me in the comments below just what you think is going to happen next. As always, a huge thank you to the patrons of the channel, and if you're looking for more Dragon Ball content, I released a full breakdown analysis of the Bardock special, as well as the full story of What If Caulifla trained with Goku.